Myles, Eclipse DJ in the chat says, I'm full of flu. I feel like crap, but I'm here for GamesCast with my paracetamol and coffee.
Do you call it paracetamol over there?
No. What is it? Is that like ibuprofen or something?
It's just a suppository you put up your other side to make you feel a bit more relaxed, I think.
Is that what it is? Talking about suppositories in the chat now? Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, each their own.
Good. Well, I mean, listen, I hope you brought enough for the rest of the class, Eclipse DJ.
No, it is like ibuprofen. I can't remember exactly the difference between two. I think one is more for inflammation, but they have similar things. But yeah,
nice.
There we go.
Good. Well, I think that puts us in the right state of mind for an episode, Myles. I think at least a few of us are all.
I'll go get some ibuprofen. Let's all dose ourselves up.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Cool. I'm gonna start the show. You grab your drugs.
No, I thought that was you. Literally saying, let's just start the show. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. That's the wrong button. That's the right button. Nothing ever works right. I don't even feel like starting the show until I see your face on the screen, Myles. We'll get there. We'll get there. There he is. This is PSVR GamesCast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Wednesdays Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live 6 p.m. Eastern for your viewing pleasure, but we care so much about your oral pleasure as well. So we put this up on podcast services of your choice. My name is Brian Powell from this channel right here with that Parole and this guy over here. To my left, to your right. It is Myles Dyer from youtube.com/Myles.
I keep counting for the times that it's not going to happen anymore, but here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. Hello, Brian. Hey, hello, Gamecats. Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing good. This week has just taken it completely out of me. It's been a hell of a week, but I did get to do some VR. I got to do a bit of flying in the good old planes, and I was telling Brian before the show, I'd quickly jumped in and I took down my first plane, which wasn't my own because I'm just terrible. And the main thing with that game, Aces of Thunder, for those that don't know what we're talking about, the idea that in the key bindings, that the gears, the flaps, the bomb dropping, it's all square, press square. And I find that incredibly confusing. But I'm having a good time of it, man. I don't like the idea that, like, when you're in battling online, you have to take off again, and then it takes 5 working days to get into battle just to get shot down instantly, and then you have to do the wait again. But maybe that will mean it's a good podcast game, you know, just drifting into battle while listening to a show in that. But apart from that, another strong contender for the week, Brian. Mars Kitchen. Have you played it? Played Mars Kitchen?
No, it's cooking. Is it a cooking game? That's. I think I remember that from PSVR this week.
I mean, it's such a weird game in the sense that there's a lot of stuff in there. You're going, what the hell is going on here? Like this main menu, you press the pause button, it says it's paused, but then everything's still carrying on in the background, like the cutscenes and everything. So I don't get that. But the actual like cooking, you work in a sushi restaurant. That's cool. And then you unlock a pizza restaurant. You make pizza. We all love pizza. That's kind of cool. And there's some additional restaurants. Like, it's great. But as I always feel about these cooking games, Brian, we need a multiplayer one. Like, I want to be able to cook either with friends to get high scores or against them to see who can beat the others. But the one most shocking thing about it, and it was in my Let's Play, I haven't gone back to check it, but the chat told me I did read it right. That one of the aliens comes up to you, and they all talk like this. I guess that's what they sound like on Mars. That's how they talk. But one of them was asking if I'd been to a D-Piddy party. And I was like, a D-Piddy party? I mean, we're not going to get demonetized from me mentioning that, right? I kid you not. I thought this was a kid's game. And when they said that, I thought, Jesus, if I'd been drinking, I would have been spitting it out all over the place. But I just didn't think it was that kind of game. So a D Pity reference, Brian, is pretty good going. So if you're into D Pity parties, there was no baby oil in the game, but at least where I was.
Yeah, to your knowledge.
To my knowledge, yeah, I haven't found any yet. So I was. Come on, guys. I mean, chat. You wouldn't expect that, right? Oh, Infinity Loop says the voices in Mars Kitchen were pretty unbearable. That is an understatement. Oh, Lupus says I think it was D Pippy. I apologize. So okay,
that's completely different.
That's completely different. Completely different.
Right. That has nullified the entire conversation, Miles.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, thumbs up, thumbs down. Like, are you having enough fun? I mean, listen, sushi and pizza are my two favorite things to eat, and so a game based around those two consumables, it sounds like my kind of game.
I think you should check it out. I mean, yeah, it was all right. It's not the most, but like the other thing also is like Star Tenders. I was always a fan of. But Star Tenders had a lot of collision physics stuff where you're trying to move and your hand might get stuck and it starts glitching. Something I really appreciate about this game was the physics and how everything worked was really great. It was click turning only. I guess you want to basically be using it in room scale anyway. But like it was simple things that you didn't have to serve sushi on a dish, but you could pick out this dish and when you drop the sushi onto it, the haptics of the hand holding the dish, you'd feel it like land on it, and it just added to the immersion and stuff. So it was cool. But I was terrible. It took me like 20 minutes to work out how to put tomato on a pizza. So I need to get better at that.
Excellent. Fifth with the Australian $5 says, Miles, how was the Pokemon Museum event?
Oh, yes. Went to the Natural History Museum on Saturday. They had a Pokemon pop-up shop. It was cute. Like they had a little like, because I don't know, you're in a natural history museum to learn about like the actual earth and actual animals. And then I'm going in this little corner bit and there's like displays of this is the speed of all these Pokemon. This is how Pokemon sleep and that. And I'm just like saying to my friend, we've actually got to go and look at some of the real exhibitions. I'm not coming to the Natural History Museum and only learning about fictitious creatures and not the real ones. But it was cute. But then it's the pop-up shop. And the pop-up shop was just a massive letdown. Like, they had an Eevee style like diary bag that looked kind of cool. And it was like $70-$80. And they had this like amulet that was like $200. It was all expensive and I didn't buy anything there. So it was a massive mission to go to for something so small, but it was kind of cute. It was good hanging out with my friend, but that's my review of it.
Fantastic.
We need a Pokemon Go. We need a Pokemon VR game. Just want to say that.
Sure. I mean, I'm down. We get that Virtual Boy cardboard attachment for the Switch too. So, I mean, any day now, right? Any day now.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
What is the closest VR game we've had to something like Pokemon on PSVR or PSVR2? There's been nothing that's tried to replicate that kind of RPG element, really, is there? Where you have pets that you fight with and stuff.
Bro, I mean, the number of we can count the number of RPGs we got on one hand. Never mind Pokemon inspired ones, right?
Yeah.
I would say none. I don't think. Maybe somebody in the chat knows, but I mean, it would be really cool. It'd be really cool to have something like that. Fifth also said the second half of his tip was, Brian, The Housemaid is a good movie. No spoilers.
Housemaid.
Yeah, I just looked it up. I had never heard of it. It is a 2025 film directed by Paul Feig. It's an American erotic psychological thriller starring Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
I gotta say, I don't think there's enough eroticism in our psychological horrors, Miles. So this I'll put this one on my list.
Well, I've been following the story of Iron Lung, Markiplier's film, and if it's still on screens in the UK, I might go see it this weekend actually because I just want to support him. But I've heard it's
because his audience is so fucking small. Markiplier.
Yeah.
Right? He needs all the support he can get.
You say that,
sort of
Brian.
like this is sort of like when people send super chats during the Game Awards, and I'm like, dude, Jeff Keighley's never gonna see your $5. Like he's never gonna see that message that went flying past 1,000 miles an hour. Markiplier,
no, that is
don't
true.
Don't you worry, Myles. Markiplier is fine.
No, but it's also because with Markiplier's movie, it was in the charts and then it got taken off him, and it was because Hollywood. Because when you have independent movies, they still get regular distributions. Whereas what happened with Markiplier was he distributed it himself. I think it started off where he had like 5 theaters, and then he was just telling his audience, "Oh, if you want it to be shown in your local theater, ask for it." And all these theaters sold out, where people in there, where they were living, were rallying together, and that's how it took off across the world. But it got taken off the charts, and I don't want to like say this is exactly why it happens. There'll be people in the chat that can probably verify stuff. But it looks like that after the first day, they were like, yeah, we're not having this. Like, we're not having someone that's not gone through the official distribution means, staying in the charts and stuff like that. But I think it's speculated he spent $3 million of his own money on it, and it's made like
pocket
on
change.
Opening weekend it did. Yeah, pocket change. It made like 20 million. But the thing was, I'd never heard of Iron Lung, and so I actually watched Markiplier's Let's Play of it, which is like 40 minutes long, and it looks like a short game overall, very simple. And I was like, and obviously we're always talking internally at Flat to VR Studios and that, we were like, this would be a cool thing to bring to VR. And there is actually already a VR mod that was done by a fan, that with the permission of the actual creator of the indie game and that. And because you're just, obviously, for those that don't know, Iron Lung, you're basically in a submarine, and it's absolutely tiny. And the way it works is you are rotating your submarine, you're going on bearings, and you're trying to get to different parts of the map. And at the back of the submarine, you have a button you press, and when you press it, there's a massive screen next to you, and it's like black and white static images of what's out in the ocean, which, by the way, is an ocean of blood. Like, it's just an ocean of blood, because that's metal as fuck, right? And so as you go on, the idea of it being in VR and pressing this button and then having this screen that's loading, and then there's really creepy stuff out there that you can't quite see. I think that would be quite cool in VR. So, yeah.
I've heard mixed reactions about the movie. I've heard some people say it's fantastic, and then I've heard it's the worst thing ever. And it's like, again, no room for nuance in these conversations, right?
Yeah, I mean, the irony of it is like Markiplier made it for fans of the game because it was going to be in a handful of theaters. You know what I mean? Like, he made it for the love of the game, and so it's very true to it. And not a lot happens in the game, like, because it's just a game where you're in a sub taking scans under the ocean. But I do hear like the beginning of the movie is incredibly slow. Like, it's a 2-hour movie. I've seen a lot of regular film reviewers saying it could have easily been 90 minutes. But Markiplier, actually, it could have gone terribly wrong if he didn't act well, and actually he did a good job of it, which, that's to put all that money forward and put yourself forward. It would be devastating if that was like what the criticism was of it. Yeah, it's that thing of like, he made it true, but then obviously as it got shown in more and more theaters and it actually got mainstream attention, well, now it's not just about, the fans it's made for. Like, does it actually appeal as a movie for people that have never seen the game? And I think that's probably where there's people going, yeah. But it kind of reminds me of a movie I remember seeing years ago that I kind of liked, that was Buried, with Ryan Reynolds. It's where the whole movie is him in a coffin buried underground. Yeah. And I saw that in the theater. Yeah.
I just watched it. Within the last year, I watched it for the first time.
Oh, really?
I say I tried to watch it, and I was just like, it was unbearable to me.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like, there's I think there's only a certain amount of frustration you can handle for watching a character, like, get put through the ringer and shit. And every single phone call is just like, hold, like he's calling from a casket underground. That's the entire movie is him being put on hold and being transferred from one person to another. And it's like, I'm so done, man. Like, this shit's annoying in my real life, right? When I'm sitting in front of a computer trying to pay my cell phone bill, right? I don't know, man. Like, it was unbearable to me. It wasn't like it was bad, but like, just absolutely not for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd enjoy watching it now. It came out many years ago. I went to see it in the theatre, and there was just something quite enticing of like on a massive screen. It all takes place in like this just one space, and it was kind of it felt kind of fresh at the time. But yeah, I can kind of see that frustration. But anyway, that's kind of what I think of with Iron Lung as well, is it's just like one scene in one room, the entire thing. So and I hear the payoff in the Iron Lung movie is good. Like it does get really awesome towards the end, but it just takes a long time to get there. Has anyone in the chat seen it? Let me know as we progress, and I'll look for it.
Somebody in the chat said phone booth. Oh, it's Eclipse DJ, even in his
phone booth is a good example.
Sickly state. Phone booth. Yeah, there's a lot. Actually, this was a conversation I was having with Izzard recently about he's just a huge fan of movies that all take place in one location, one spot. There's certainly. I think you have to be a very good storyteller in order to pull that off, right? Because when you don't get that environmental variety, is like you don't get that story evolving as you move from one place to another. You better be telling a good story while you're stuck in that place.
Phone booth is a funny one because like you explain it to kids now and it's like, what's a phone booth? You know what I mean? Like it's like a bygone era of like, you used to put coins in a machine to
just tell them to watch ATM. Maybe they'll understand that.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same movie, I think. We also got DJ Low with the £5. Hold on, sorry that I can't scroll up high enough to have this on the screen, so I'll do this. Cover up Myles. Bye, Myles. He says, just here to say hi to Brian, Myles, in the best gaming community. Thank you so much, DJ Low. Appreciate you. Appreciate your generosity. We got Silver Nexus with the $10 saying pizza money. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next time I buy pizza, I will very much appreciate that. That's for sure. Doing my best to eat right currently, though, Myles. Right? Look at Gamecat Meetup 2026 approaching, like rapidly. It is late April, and that's 2.5 months away, basically. That is crazy. So, just want to drop a couple.
It's while we're in February now. Yeah, we're in February. February's the shortest month for the year. Jesus Christ, man. Where's 2026 going?
Yeah, it's already over. We should start making 2027 plans.
Yeah.
Right, just give it this year's already been a wash. We got 4 Aces Gamer Cat with the 1337. Says, come join us for a double dose of Aces of Thunder this weekend. That's right. The Cats asked.
Nice.
Aces crushed it for both Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. The hype is real, Game Cats. Listen, this is a first time. I don't think this has ever happened before. Although I guess we haven't been doing Saturday and Sunday multiplayer for very long. But since we've started, we have never had the same game for both days. But the response has been overwhelming. And so, guys, if you don't have anyone to play Ace of Thunder with, if you're sitting out there being like, I have a PSVR2, but I have no friends. Yes, you do. Come join our Discord. You've got thousands of friends, and a lot of those friends will be playing Ace of Thunder, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday. And and I got to say this, Myles. I got to say this. I'm going to go full screen because I want this to be. I want to look into your eyes. Not you, Myles. I mean, I can look into your eyes too. That's a little different, but just looking into.
Don't look into their eyes. Into their eyes.
Right. You can see how terrible I look. I'm like fucking on death's door. Listen while I tell you this, my friends. No. The cats have been amazing. You guys have been absolutely incredible, right? I think flight sims have been kind of a new genre. For a lot of us in the PSVR2 community, for a lot of this is the first time we've ever even came close to something that was this simmy, right? Not even as simmy as it could possibly be, but and it's been a little overwhelming for a lot of people. But the game is so good that people want to do it. They want to learn, and the cats have been amazing, sharing tips with each other and just kind of and really just being there for each other and helping everybody through it. Right? It's like it's not often something like this comes along where you're like, I think the game's too hard for me to play it, right? But man, people have been there every step of the way, and I'm just I just love seeing it, right? I wake up and just see constant conversations from one cat to another, trying to like work their way through remapping the buttons. Oh, this option should be on, this option should be off. What controller you're using? I think Stingray's been going to bat for the Protus, right? That we talked about it the other day, and so there's lots of great conversations happening, and I love it. Whereas I think it could be really negative sometimes, right? Being like, oh, it's just too fucking hard, man. I just don't want to fucking do it. Right? I feel like this community turned it into a positive. So if you are struggling with it at all, come join the Discord. You know, people are there to help. And if you're more of like a hands-on type person, then definitely come join the multiplayer on Saturday and Sunday, and people will help you out. It's amazing. I love you guys. Sorry, car horns on my end. Gamecato sent 10 without parole gift memberships, keeping up his streak of more car horns. Oh my god. What is happening out there? I'm fine with the sirens. I just don't understand the car horns. Like I've never especially the constant ones.
They're doing the car horns to drown the sirens out, Brian.
Yeah, that's effective. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Myles, we got a couple things here I want to talk about. It's not going to be a super long show, but we do have a couple of topics. Once the car horns stop, I promise. You guys probably can't even hear them. It might even just be in my head. It may not even be real. So, we got a listing on the PlayStation Store for a new game, and it is called Parkour Labs. I find this hilarious because it looks. Hold on a second. That's not what I want up here. I want this up here. Because it's another parkour game, right? We literally just got Skyleap. They're not even done patching Skyleap or putting, getting all the new modes in, and all that. And before that game is even done, hot on its heels, we have another game. And I don't know. I don't even know, honestly, Myles, if I would have brought this up on Gamescast, if I would have made any effort to talk about this whatsoever. But this has been on Steam on the flat screen since 2024, and the reviews are really positive. And so I am.
It looks cool.
It does. It has that kind of
synthwave.
Yeah, and that seems like that seems like what it's going for too. Even the soundtrack is synthwave. This, I don't know, man. I don't know. This could be cool. I feel like I'm one of the few people that really like Skyleap, and so. In the absence of the original Stride or To the Top on PSVR2, I'm kind of relying on these titles to hold us over.
And I'll just add, I did enjoy Skyleap a lot more than a lot of people. Although I will say it was mainly just the one mode, the endless mode. That was the one that I enjoyed playing. The others not so much. And I'm excited to see what they keep adding to that.
And you're feeling pretty good about the progress they're making in terms of like you no longer like falling through when you try to grab things. Everything feels good now. Yeah,
I felt they'd fix that like quite soon on for me, and then the UI they've improved a lot. And you often get it where devs are always being vocal, saying, "Yeah, we're working on stuff," and these guys will always do updates every day, and they really are updating it and responding to the feedback of the community. I believe that they are working on asynchronous multiplayer, which will be awesome. Because on the endless mode, I'd love it that as you're heading up, you could actually see. I know that everyone's not going to be going up the same because it's procedurally generated. Not everyone's going up the same course. But I do like the idea that you would see lines in the sky of each record. So you could see like when you've overtaken someone's record on it. I think that would be kind of cool. I know that there's cosmetics you can unlock for reaching 1,000 high, which is insane. 500 was the one that you need for the platinum, and I hit 490.
Yeah,
so good.
Let me ask you, Myles. How much more does it get more difficult as you progress up, or is it literally just
Oh no, it does. Yeah, it does get harder. It like what you find is it just gets to a part where there's so many of the turrets just start appearing, and what you have to do is when you get to a new section and all the stuff starts raising, is like hook onto an edge and just look around you and just take them out as quick as you can. But sometimes you get them coming from angles that are just like really, really tough. And also the endless mode. I found that my palms just kept getting really sweaty because you get a real sense of like, I don't want to fall down. And I was telling you this, Brian, but something I just love about the endless mode is when you look down, you can literally see all the way down to where you started. So when you're up 400, 500 high, eventually it does start fading out, but it's a long way down, and you just get, my palms are sweaty, and that's how I died one time, was I took my controllers off just to wipe my palms on my trousers, and then I got shot by a turret, because they realised that's when you're weak and they can take you out. So
well, that's interesting. I mean, I definitely want to put some more time into it then and see where it goes and how difficult it gets. And I've been meaning to. I need to get back to that. There's so many games I need to get back to, man. The workload is piling up. But this it's a good platinum trophy as well, because the hardest one to get the platinum is the 500, and it feels so rewarding once you've done it. So yeah, recommend. And you have done it.
I had. I after I did the 490. I then went, and then I got 720 or something, which is always typical, isn't it? You try and hit something, and then I'm like, because also it doesn't tell you how high up. Like, I'd love it if it told you on your wrist. And so I'm like, I thought I'd done it last time and it was 490. So I was like, I better keep going. And then clearly I'd overdid it. And then I was like, shit, 1,000 is the one for the top cosmetics and stuff. But yeah.
I mean, listen, I think Zokis has kind of shown what kind of studio they are, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with their games so much as, like, you know, they sort of start off a little bit basic, and what is happening, young lady? Huh? You just want to be part of the show? She's meowing at the top of her lungs over here. They add post launch. They listen to consumer feedback, and right, this is what happened with Exocars. This is what's happening with Skyleap. So it does make me a little bit nervous about Omega Pilot Evolution, which was supposed to be out this month, and then I just looked at the store page, and now it's coming March, which may get delayed again, and who knows, right? My guess is there'll be a handful of tracks and just a handful of vehicles, and it won't be like super in depth. And then, you know, over time, over the next year, it'll get better and better. Which I have no idea how Exocars sold, but I guess that should tell us, or should tell them, if it's a good business model or not. So.
Well, the fact they added the chase mode, which actually I don't think is great, and it was like, right. I know I'd said I wanted some kind of speed component to it. It just feels very similar to endless mode, but it's already making me think about what they could work on next in this. And I think, because of how this game looks, they should add a map editor.
Oh, for Skyleap, because it's so it definitely looks very modular, easy to kind of just put pieces together, and it looks just like the levels they created. Yep.
It would add so much longevity, like, you know, and it's that whole thing, if you create it but you have to complete it before you can publish it, and then everyone has a high score, and then that just gives it so much content that they don't have to be making the levels anymore. And you know what it's like, communities always end up finding interesting ways that even the developers hadn't thought of. So that could then become a good universe for it, and I actually think it could really, really step up then. So, yeah.
Yeah, Secrets of in the chat says Smash Hit on the Gear VR should come to PSVR2. I missed that game. Is Smash Hit the same game as Smash Hit Plunder? Because I know we got Smash Hit Plunder on PSVR1. It was like voxel art, kind of. You just run around, smash stuff, collect coins with your friends. I can't imagine that there's a different game called Smash Hit. But just curious if it's the same game or not, because I haven't thought about Smash Hit Plunder for like 7 years, something along those lines.
Smash Hit is where you've got like balls that you're shooting to smash glass panels as you're running through an environment.
What?
That's what I'm seeing.
Is it on
Steam?
Some
gameplay here.
I know they said it's on Gear, but I just didn't know if it was.
This one was on Oculus Go, I think.
Okay, hold on.
Smash Hit VR.
Gear. Oh yeah, this is not the same game at all. Holy crap. Okay. All right. Oh, we got to track down some of these developers, man. Some of these games that have been lost to time, or I would say lost time. Games I've never even heard of, right? Because they've been lost to time. And I think it was Popsicle in the chat who said we need to get on top of lo-fi and see what the heck is going on. I talked to Blair not that long ago. And like, you know, he's clearly still wants to get lo-fi on the PSVR 2. He is, I think one of the many projects he's working on right now is getting Technolust into. Is it? I'm going to get this wrong. I think he has to update it to a new engine. And he said once he does that, he wants to support it everywhere, including. I said, what about PSVR2? He said, yeah, I don't see a reason why we couldn't do that. So I think it's going to be a minute before we see Lo-Fi or Technolust. But I think once they get all their ducks in a row, I think we'll see the triumphant return of those games. So,
right.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hold on a second real quick. Let me get this up on the screen. King Rolo, the Liberty Cat, with the level 2 membership, says, just want to say how much I enjoy the show. Wish I could get more involved, but I'm sure I'll carry on not saying a goddamn thing. Love cats. I love cats. One love cats. Third time's a charm.
One love.
I love cats. I love cats too. Oh, that's not what you're saying. Yeah, listen, we're just happy that you're here. I say at the end of every show, I think it becomes meaningless when you say it 1,000 times. But it is true. Like, we're thrilled that there's people here and being active and talking a lot and keeping us entertained while we try to keep you entertained. But like, man, it's just, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be one of the people who's just like, so my favorite shows of all time that were on YouTube, my favorite podcast, my favorite Gamescast type shows, those people don't even know. Right. Like I maybe never commented, maybe never sent a super chat, right? Like, and I consider myself one of the biggest fans of those shows. And so, I've been on the other side of it. And so I know that there's a lot of people out there who are supporting us silently by watching and subscribing and, clicking the like button occasionally, or maybe not. I have no idea. But thank you for your support, no matter how you support us.
Absolutely. Something that just came to mind. On my show on Wednesday, I had Kalia VR, who is an awesome VR content creator. She does a lot of fitness VR. Always uses it to help in terms of losing weight and just general fitness. And we were talking on it about like what are the best fitness VR games out there, and of course things came to mind of games that were on PSVR and never came across, and one of them we were talking about Spark, which came to mind when we were looking at that game you were just talking about now, because it had similar kind of visuals and that. Dude, Spark, and I totally forgot that because it was fully multiplayer pretty much, that when they shut the servers off it meant you couldn't even play it anymore. Dude, Spark was so good, man. Like, I just wish that could come back for PSVR2. It had such a unique feel, and like it felt like a sport of the future. That was the thing that blew my mind about it. Was it felt completely novel, VR first, and I'm just and the way that you could be massive around a small box and you could view people playing in the middle. Yeah, that game was just brilliant, and I'm just so sad it never came through.
Yeah, I remember when they were turning the servers off. We jumped in and just like played for like hours and just I bopped around from like lobby to lobby to lobby just to like join in random games and just try to share the love with the last remaining players that were going to be there. It really it was really special. We thought C Smash VRS was going to be. We were hoping C Smash was going to deliver what we wanted, right? Like kind of like deliver the same type of experience. And C Smash had its own thing going on, but just not the same kind of community aspect, not the same kind of. You didn't get that spectator mode, and some of the. And I think a lot of people agreed that the controls felt strange, right? The ball, why isn't the ball going where I want it to? Like this isn't right. So yeah, so far nothing has replaced Spark, and Spark was a moment in time for sure. So much nostalgia just watching these old trailers too, man. This is crazy. I haven't watched this in a while. God.
And that was the thing we were talking about. I was talking with Kalia about is it's not that games are good for a moment and they're not. It's just there are so many games. Because as we were talking about stuff, it was like, oh, there's this game. It's so good. I haven't been to it in like a year. Because we were talking about like Thrill of the Fight, which has never come to PSVR2, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about it. She hadn't played it in a year. I talked about Knock. I want to get back to. Like, I love Knock way more than the average gamer, and I think it's such a good fitness game, and I want to really get back into it. But I haven't played that in over a year. Just time flies, and I haven't used VR for fitness in a very long time. I don't think. I'm trying to think the last VR game that I specifically played for fitness.
I mean, specifically for fitness.
Yeah. Like, I want to work out in VR right now. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a group of us years ago that got into Box VR, which is now FitXR, but they were saying FitXR was going to come to PSVR2. To my knowledge, it hasn't. I don't know, somehow might have flown under the radar. I don't think it has. And it was exactly that. I mean, it was, it was kind of Beat Saber, but with gloves, right? And so you're just punching this, punching that, and, dodging, and, a lot of squats. And it was exhausting. And it, honestly, the multiplayer wasn't even very good. You know what I mean? It was like I think you saw the names of the other people in your lobby, right? But it was not, but like you didn't see the people. You didn't see the people next to you, right? And so we were playing simultaneously, but like, we were. It was more of a motivational thing to be playing with other people, because you didn't even see them. So I just feel like we haven't gotten that game that is like, that combines the gamification of exercise with a great simultaneous multiplayer mode that just kind of does it all. Spark, I think we all accidentally got in shape when we played Spark.
Yes.
Right? I don't think many people got in there for exercise. We just accidentally lost weight and we gained some muscle. And we're like, I just remember being just standing in a puddle of sweat after playing that game for like 2 hours straight. It's great.
That's the best VR games, is when you're not aware and it's just like it keeps pushing you because you want to get that 1 point, and as you're both pushing, you're making it. Because in Spark, at least in one of the game modes, you play until you've hit a certain score, and so when it's on that final point, you're going at each other again, and you're in that box. You're in it until someone scores the final point. So in the end, it's just like, you know what? You get it. You get it. Which is the same with Knock, actually, I think. Yeah.
We got VR Joe, the Hoosier Game Cat with the $5 says, nothing to say. Just keeping the lights on. Love you guys. Thanks. The lights are on for the time being. You guys are awesome. No.
They're back on.
Oh, God.
Another super chat came in, so it's good.
I was going to petition VR Joe. I was like, we need another 5. That stat.
Dude, you need to gamify your studio so the lights keep dimming, and every time a super chat comes on,
the microphone gets quieter and quieter. Everything just the stream fades out.
The sound quality and visual quality just gets worse and worse, and every super chat it then goes up again. Oh my God.
We're down to 240p, you guys. That's hilarious. No, we don't take anything for granted. Thank you very much, everybody. You guys are great. Fifth, the Australian Gamecat. That's not what I meant to say. It's fifth with the Australian $2 tip. Yo, we can all thank Myles for there being a show tonight, because about 3 hours ago I was like, dude, I don't think we're doing this tonight. I don't think this is happening. And Myles was like, you you'll enjoy doing it, and I was like, yeah, that's a good point.
And it's the same for me, by the way. I'm absolutely shattered this week, and I would rather, I felt like I'd rather just go to bed, but I'm feeling awesome for this because this community rocks.
Fifth of the Australian $2 says, can't remember if you've talked about Unmourned VR. We don't.
Unmourned VR.
Well, okay, so it's interesting he calls it that, right? Because the last time we checked in on Unmourned was a game that got announced for PS5. And
I'm looking at it on Steam. Yeah.
Why don't I have a trailer for this? I literally, I'm just going to download one real quick.
Code Bros.
And it was just funny. Like we all hit up their Discord. And we're all like, hey, is there any chance you guys could bring this to VR? It looks great. It looks perfect for VR. Here, I'm just going to download this real quick. And they were really good about responding. They were saying, they like almost immediately, they were like, dude, we've seen so many requests for PSVR2 support that as soon as our game is out, we're going to look into it. And I was like, wow, okay. Again, like this is the Gamecat Ops movement in a nutshell. It is, you ask and people listen, So let's see, just anybody. Here's Unmourned. I don't know why I didn't have a trailer. It's crazy. But it looks good. It looks really good. It looks super scary.
Yeah,
and if there's been an update, I have not been keeping up with it, so my apologies. Who said this? Was this Fifth? Fifth, do you have an update for us? Have they announced that they're officially doing a VR mode? Because if that's the case, fucking sign me up. This looks amazing.
Yeah, going up to windows at night and shadows around the corner and people scurrying across the floor. No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I played was it the Obsessive Shadow on Quest, right? And the Obsessive Shadow is a very, very, very indie game that looks a little bit like this, right? A very indie game.
I like this.
And even that, like these dark rooms and like looking out windows and seeing like this thing that's stalking you. It's amazing how effective it can be in VR, So hopefully these guys understand that whatever, however scary their game is on the flat screen, it'll be 10 times scarier once they get people in the headset. So, especially the whole thing with, see, this is what they're doing now. I don't know how far behind the stream is for you, Myles, but they're holding up like a little camcorder, and it's like same with Outlast, man. Like just doing that in VR, having one hand to do that, it automatically means that you're hampered, right? You don't, one of your hands is occupied, right? So if something comes at you, suddenly you're running. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, there's something about that. And especially when there's not a gun in the other hand that makes you feel extra vulnerable. I don't know.
Yeah, they can take their time with this. It doesn't need to come to VR anytime soon. It looks genuinely horrifying. The whole looking in the mirror stuff. No, thank you.
I don't think we got an update from Fifth, but I'll keep an eye on the chat and see, because I think he's been keeping a better eye on it than us. Count Otto says, sorry, coward here. Yep, that's okay. You and Myles are in the same boat. We got. Oh, hold on a second. I want this. I'm not gonna let the tip window crash. Gamecat with the Australian $50 says, Struth Cobber, I pledged 3,000. Okay. Can somebody? Is anybody in Australia right now? Is anybody in Australia who has tabs on Gamecat? Can somebody go check on him to make sure he's okay? Right. Like a little bit worried that like he's gonna get back on meds at some point or sober up at some point and be like, what have I done? What have I done? I single-handedly supported the entire PSVR2 game industry, and now I am broke.
It turns out actually Meta weren't actually defunding Horizon Worlds and that. It was just Gamecat who just moved the money from that to other projects. The 30 billion or whatever it was.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Got it.
Order One. I need to look this up.
Yeah, so we talked about Order One on. Here, let me finish reading the tip, and then we'll talk about this a little bit. He says, "Struth Cobber, I pledged $3,000 to the." In all fairness, it's Canadian dollars, so you know how much that really is. It's still a shitload of money. No, I'm just making a joke. He said, I pledged $3,000 to the Order One Kickstarter. The devs only need another couple of grand extra now, pledged to get up to their $10,000 goal. Go and back it now to force this Gamecat to pay up. Let's get this game off the ground. Amazing, dude. Amazing generosity. Sorry, mom, by the way, mom is texting me right now. Mom's texting me, and the first line of the text says, I know you're live right now, but
you.
All right.
Hi, Brian's mom.
Yeah, everybody say hi, Brian's mom, in the chat, because I'm sure she's watching. Anyway, what was the point of this?
Talking about Order One, which I'm looking at the trailer for now.
Yeah, we talked about this on. It might have been Monday's show, it might have been Wednesday's show. I have no idea. But yeah, they. So this is Attack on Titan fan game, Attack on Titan VR fan game. The people behind that kind of banded together and were like, we want to make our own game, and they're not a huge fan of standalone, and they want to bring this to PC VR and PSVR2. It's a roguelite, where the premise of the entire thing is like you legit like find like when you kill enemies, you can like rip the arms off their bodies and attach it to your own, right? And like different weapons and abilities and shit because of that. And so I mean, it's a great premise. My only concern that I voiced the last time we talked about it is like that we haven't really seen much gameplay at all, right? And so like I've got my fingers crossed that these guys know what they're doing. It looks like the Attack on Titan fan game was pretty cool, so it sounds like they know what they're doing. So my best of luck to them. I'm doing my part. I am including this in PSVR this week, and I'll be including the Kickstarter links and all that to make sure that anybody who wants to back the game can back the game.
Nice.
You guys are great. Anyway, so listen, great segue, Gamecato. We did want to talk about Kickstarters today, and so I think this is probably a great segue into our main topic of conversation, which is the Knights of Fiona Kickstarter. And if you guys don't know, Knights of Fiona is the spiritual sequel. Wait, what is happening today? Wait, where are all my trailers?
What's happening? I mean, it's
Myles,
Friday.
Myles, where are all my trailers? Did you steal all my trailers?
No, I don't think they're here.
This is something very odd, because the only thing I really do before shows is make sure that I have all the trailers I need ready, and they're all missing.
There's a trailer drought at the moment, guys.
Well, I'm glad I got my double wide good and ready to go here. All right. That's what happens when you live in Tennessee. You learn what a double wide is.
Is it a type of sandwich?
It's a trailer that's twice as...
Oh.
It's kind of self-explanatory, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, this is the spiritual sequel to Ruins Magus, which was I guess we're using the term very loosely here, okay? Action RPG on PSVR2. I gave it a low score. I think I gave it like a 5, right? And it's not, but man, it had so much potential, right? The town that you walk around in, and like there's plenty of NPCs, and there's even like a photo mode where you get a camera and take pictures, and I mean, and then of course, you know, then you get out of the town, you take on these quests, and it's a dungeon crawler, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on here, and but the RPG aspects to it were almost non-existent, right? Calling it an action RPG is like kind of like a fuck you to every real action RPG out there, right? This is kind of like an action game with a more like a medieval setting. But I saw the potential. I really did. I was like, I think there's something here. So when the developers, when they circle back around and they do another game, if they do a spiritual sequel, if they do an actual sequel, whatever they do, I'm very interested in what they do next, because hopefully they learned a lot from whatever happened in Ruins Magus. And then here they are, they're back. And I mean, listen, this trailer looks great. It already looks better than Ruins Magus. The boss fights look good. The fact that you can play with, I think they said up to 3 friends, so I think it's 1 to 4 players, but a completely playable single player if you want to. You know, going on these quests with friends is always going to be a massive improvement. And we can go through the Steam page and the Kickstarter and all that and learn more about this if we want to. But as you guys probably noticed, the title of this video in the thumbnail is that they need $96,000. Yeah, exactly. There's to bring this to PSVR2, we need to hit the $96,000 stretch goal on Kickstarter, and that is a lot of fucking money.
Yeah,
but I'm not here to be like, despite, you know, how the title of the video might sound, I'm not here to like to talk shit about it or even put them down for like, you know, how dare you hide, you know, this PSVR2 port, you know, behind this massive Kickstarter goal. I actually think, oh my God, bro, are you okay?
Whoa.
You all right? You all right? You okay? Just I don't know what she did, but she fell off of the desk next to me. You okay? She seems to be fine. Yeah, she's fine. Damn, sorry. She's
Sorry,
never...
I was just looking at their stretch goals.
Nice. Yeah, I'll bring that up on the screen right now. She doesn't fall often. Like I think she's fallen like 3 times ever. I kind of prevent her from walking in places I know that she doesn't have the balance for. Anyway, yeah. So like I said, they're back, and this is and this is it. And I got to say, man, like I kind of applaud them for saying, listen, if you want it, pay for it. I just don't know if they quite nailed the details on this. So,
and just to be clear, they're not saying $96,000 is what it costs to bring it to PSVR2. It's because there's other stretch goals leading up to it that you're investing on.
Right. I think my big issue, we'll just jump right to the get right to the chase here.
Yeah.
Is that if you want this on PSVR2 and you're throwing your money at them saying, oh, here's $100, right? Because I want to get it to that $96,000 stretch goal. They may not hit that $96,000 stretch goal. And then that leads us to people who've like given a company $100 for a game that will come to Quest 3 and Steam. And that's not where some of the backers are going to want to play this game or even going to play this game. Right. And so it's almost like it needs a separate Kickstarter for the PSVR2 version.
I disagree. I think that you would want the PSVR2 thing near the top, because if you hit that threshold first, now you've increased the pool of potential players who will then have an investment into helping you hit those extra bits of content, because it's now like extra bits of content for those on Quest and on PSVR2. I think it like helps magnify it. I understand that you'd think, well, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, are you going to get to exclusive accessories or more side content? If everyone's like, well, I don't care, I'm already having a Meta Quest, why would I care about PSVR2? But I kind of feel like you'd want that on-ramp with getting another community in there. But
having closer to like $40,000 or something low that like you're more likely to hit. Yeah, 100%. And then that way, yeah, you've got more people in that pool to contribute to get to these other stretch goals. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm just repeating what you said, but I'm processing it in my own head and saying it as I'm processing it. And so I totally agree. I think that would have been a much smarter way to go about it.
What are they on at the moment? Just because mine's obviously in the UK, so it's £11,000. So what is it like? Is it around $14,000 they're at the moment?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't scroll up as fast as I want to. I don't know why it's doing this.
Doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind.
So they've hit some kind of goal, I think, right? So their goal was $9,000, $9,500, whatever the basic minimum goal was, right? And you want to make sure that your goal, your standard goal, is low enough that you're going to hit it, right? Because otherwise you may not get your money, depending on how it's set up. And so they hit their basic goal of $9,500, and they're getting close to doubling that. And it's only been a couple of days. There's still 27 days left in this, right? And so, and listen, I know there's a lot of love for Ruins Magus out there. I think on Quest, people really liked it. I think on Steam, people really liked it. If it was on Steam, I just remember being confused, right? And I'm not trying to put anyone down, but I was like, are our standards just different? Like, is that what we're working with here? Are we just working with different standards? Or is it literally just a game that maybe didn't resonate with me as much as it resonated with other people? But there's a lot of love for the first game out there. So I think it's possible. They could hit plenty of these other stretch goals. And as you can see, as I'm scrolling through, there's just so much stuff that they're saying, oh, we want to do this, and we want to do this, and we want to do this. And so far it's looking pretty good. But let's just kind of go through these goals real quick. At the $30,000 price stretch goal, they say a present to all of our backers, an exclusive accessory, which seems very small, right? Yeah. Seems like a very small gift, an accessory. But who knows? Maybe I'm misunderstanding what it is. And then at $38,000, it's more side content. Enjoy more things to do outside the main quests. Cool. I think that's all very important. A new costume at $48,000. Again, a new costume, like a cosmetic that'll probably cost like $2. It seems very strange for another $10,000 benchmark. Boss rush mode for 55,000. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me. I've never cared about boss rush modes, and they also seem really easy to implement. At 65,000, it's a new weapon type, and then 96,000 is bringing Knights of Fiona to PlayStation VR2. It's weird. It's weird, but I don't mind it. Like I said, I think it's just the way that it's set up that I mind. I don't mind them saying, "Hey, listen, if you guys want it, you kind of have to pay for it up front." Just because the Gamecat Ops movement is all about making a lot of noise and saying, "Hey, like we would absolutely love this if you brought it over to our platform." But there's no money involved in a bunch of people making noise. It's a bunch of people making noise. And the people who have to put the money in, who have to put the time in to the port and bring it over, they're the ones with their fingers crossed saying, we fucking hope this pays off. We hope the people making a lot of noise about it are actually going to buy it. So this is sort of like them saying, listen, you give us the money first, then we'll do it. What are you doing? Where is she?
But also, I believe that if you give the money first, you're not even buying the game.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
Which is like, so you got to invest in it. And by the way, there's a lot of cool stuff on here, so I don't want to seem like I'm being totally negative. I'm talking completely selfishly as a PSVR2 player of like, you will have to fund to get it to PSVR2, and then once that amount is hit, you'll then have to buy it.
Yeah, I'm going through the pledge amounts right now and seeing what the deal is. Because again, like even if it is, so here it is, like for the $64, it's 10,000 yen. You get 3 digital copies of Knights of Fiona, right? Which is, so they're only saying like, if you pledge $64, so about $21.50, you get, right? So this doesn't seem like a bad deal. You pledge $64, you get 3 digital copies of the game. It's for you and a couple of your friends that you want to play multiplayer with. That's great. However, again, you run into the same problem. Am I going to be able to specify, be like, hey, if we get to the $96,000 stretch goal, can I convert these to PlayStation VR2 copies, or is this specifically Quest or Steam? Right? And I think that's an important question they need to answer so that people can start giving them money if they so desire. Yeah. I don't know. But the game does look good. And
yes.
And honestly, like, this is a studio that I saw a lot of potential in. And despite the fact that I didn't love their first game, I do hope that they get the second chance to, really flesh out their game and make it exactly the way that they want to, with all the side quests and all the content that they want. And hopefully with any luck, get it to as many consoles as possible. But this is sort of why I was thinking like it needs its own separate Kickstarter, just because like, I don't know. I don't know. The other question is like, what if we don't hit the 96,000 and it comes to Quest, it comes to Steam, and it does ridiculously well? Are they going to be like, sorry, we didn't hit the Kickstarter? Yeah. Right? You didn't hit the Kickstarter. We're not porting it. That was the deal. And it's not happening. I don't know. I
don't think they would do that, but it's just the fact that it'd make it more likely. But I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know how well the last game sold on PSVR2 as well. So,
yeah. So you said you said I don't think it's going to cost $96,000 to port it, right? Because you said there's other stretch goals along the way. However, so many of those,
right? Don't cost much. Yeah,
they're filler. They're filler.
Yeah.
So I do think that they estimate that that this port is going to cost them $60,000 to do. Somewhere around that. I think a good majority of these stretch goals are getting them to the point where they can, get it. I don't know if they still have their PSVR2 dev kit, aka PS5 dev kit, from the Ruins Megas days, or if they have to send that back, or what kind of deal they got. But that's a few $1,000s. Right. And then if they're doing it themselves, or like having to hire a team like VR Monkey to do this for them, right? There's so many questions, so many variables involved in this, but I like seeing it there, just so they can just kind of put it all on Front Street, right? To say like, hey, we're just being very transparent. We need this amount of money to do a PSVR2 version. Because they probably heard a lot. Yeah.
Having worked on a Kickstarter page, I love the layout of this and all the graphics and that. It's all beautifully laid out. Like, doing Kickstarters is no fun. Like, it's so many graphics and formatting and making it look right. And I just love how this is all presented.
Yeah, I think they did a great job. Like, just scrolling through, I want to stop at every single graphic and read about the different characters and about is the motion capture here and this different places just laid out. I don't listen. I think they're off to a good start. It's only been what, 3 days? Most of these Kickstarters go
right. Yeah.
30 days, and so they're. I think there's a possibility here. I think we could see this happen. But if nothing else, it'll at least happen on other platforms.
Maybe next week we'll be like, let's get this over the line. Only $1,000 left.
I mean, listen, just
nice.
Along with Order 1, this will be in PSVR this week with the Kickstarter link and all that. Tip window crashed. Has to happen eventually, and so yeah. So I am. I feel like that's my part, right? Is helping to signal boost and getting the word out about all this. Holy shit, dude! We got lots of tips to get to.
Oh my god!
Thank you guys so much for your generosity.
What's with all the tipping? Unbelievable.
Just the tip, not the rest of it.
No.
Comic book guy with the 2 quid says, "Hey Brian, sorry to annoy you, but I did DM you."
DM.
Hold on.
DMG.
Yo, oh my god, he was 15 DMs down.
Decorated maison. He decorated your house. Is that what DM stands for?
Dungeon Master.
Oh, Dungeon Master, of course.
Yep. Okay, I'll get a respond in person. I don't think I don't know if I saw a question. Comic book guy. they even support. I will read up after the show. I'm so bad. I'm so bad with DMs. I'm bad with emails. I just saw Ryan Payton from Camouflage send me another email to be like, hey, I don't know if you saw this, and I was like, oh shit. Like, I mean, fucking, if I'm not responding to Ryan Payton, I'm not responding to anybody. That's how this week has gone.
It's not easy being a dungeon master.
It's it's not. It's a lot of responsibility. Ben L, the Gamecat Army with the $5 says, here's another 5. Thank you. Man, what is happening today? Oh, GC13, what's up, Tip, with the $5 says, throwing in another 5 for the hell of it. What is happening? What's happening?
This was all for the to keep the quality of the stream up.
Oh, dude, we're gonna be up to 4K by the end of this stream. We've never done anything in 4K on this channel. Okay, listen, that might be. Maybe we'll get to 1440. I don't.
I love the chat. Oh yeah, I love the chat's been typing all DM suggestions. Designer, mathematicians, Demi Moore, distinguished maiden. Love it. All of the above. All of the above. Danger Mouse.
Nice. Andrew Ehrenreich with the $5 says, money for cat treats for Tornado. Aw, she'll love that. Yeah, she's so spoiled. I just gotta let you know, she's so spoiled. Chi-Town D with the $5 says, I want to join in on the fun. Here's another $5. Damn, dude. We're up to 720p, guys. We're up to 720p. Keep it rolling.
Wow.
Scally says, gaming with the 5 quid says, another 5 for the tip train. Choo choo. I missed all of this coming in. So this is, I just didn't see any of it.
Lights are slowly coming on now.
Thank you. Silver Nexus with the $5 says, 5 more for the 5 more for more. The hell of it. Fuck yeah. Guys, it's testing my reading abilities now. Is Mad Vegan? I always forget with the ats. I think this is Mad Vegan with the $5. Let me guess. This is going to be a hippo of some kind. Is it a hippo? Oh. Let's find out what this is. I'm going to copy and paste as I always do. It's a hippo character running at high speed, his legs forming a ball like Blur.
Wow.
I guess Sonic the Hedgehog is
copyrighted. I love the
copyrighted,
descriptions.
so they can't just say like Sonic.
Yeah. Gotta go
Thank you,
fast.
Mad Vegan. Gotta go fast. Ian's about the £2 saying, what happened to Golf 5? They said they were ready for PSVR2. I can't remember if I got in touch with them or not. But I have this. It felt like they were going through QA, right? That's what they made it seem like, and then they dropped off the face of the planet. So I don't know, but I will check in on them. Because Golf 5 is. I mean, we don't have a golf game on PSVR2. It's kind of our only hope, possibly only hope for the time being. But I will do my best. I'll send the message along and see if I can get a response from them. VR Joe, the Hoosier Game Cat with the $2 says, "Hi, Brian's mom." I'm gonna see her this weekend, so I'll make sure to pass your $2 on.
Tell her in future not to text and super chat during these hours.
Yeah, actually,
it's really that important.
You know what? I looked up Comic Book Guy's DM, but I didn't see what my mom had to say after the sorry for. I know that you're live. Oh, I'm not seeing her. I'm not seeing her tomorrow.
Oh,
yep.
Because she interrupted your show.
She said, "Send me a text letting me know that you've read this." Does this count? Reading it on air? Does this count?
Yeah.
Okay. Shenyazo with the £10 says for Tornado's rehab fund. Yo, listen, no joke, right? My parents, when they got their cat, so my parents only got a cat because of Tornado, right? They met Tornado, they fell in love with her. They'd never had a dog or a cat or any real pet other than like fish, our whole lives. And then they got a cat after meeting Tornado. Tornado convinced them that they also needed a cat. So they got a cat, and I swear within weeks, that cat fell like 2 stories off of a railing down a stairwell, boom, hit the floor and broke its leg. Like immediately that cat cost them $7,000.
Oh my God.
Okay. So pet insurance, everybody.
Yeah.
Just FYI, pet insurance. Like you need that shit. I'm rolling the dice, but you need that shit. Do as I say, not as I do.
A cat's leg is like 1/10 of a PSVR2 port. That's unbelievable.
There's so many jokes I want to make, but they all seem very insensitive to broken cat legs. I'm just not.
Well, Tornado's gonna, when getting all these treats from all this pity super chats, is gonna be doing backflips next week. Just meow, just throwing herself at the window and stuff. Like, yeah, I'll get more super chats now.
Luke Sparling with the Canadian 279 says balls all day. You know what I mean? That's right. We have a poll going right now over on Discord saying it's a very heated debate about what kind of ice we like the best.
Oh,
yeah. Do you like crushed ice, Myles? Do you like
No.
Do you like cubed ice?
Cubed ice, yeah. I think.
Yeah.
What are the other alternatives?
Well, there's also so my refrigerator. I didn't get a choice in this. It's just what it makes. It makes like the crescents, almost like the crescent moon one.
Oh, that's horrible. That's tyranny. You don't get a choice.
Yeah, I know. It's craziness. And now they're my favorite. It is my favorite kind of ice. Crescent, like the shape of a half moon.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, I've never had ice like that. That's pretty badass.
It must be an American thing.
Probably.
The Brits aren't familiar with crescent moons.
Yeah, it's true. We only get square ones.
Lame.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, Luke says the ball ice is the best ice.
Yeah, it's good surface area. Yeah.
Also, he said if anybody should know how good balls are, Brian should, and I don't know what you are implying by that, Luke.
Exactly. He gets crescents.
Luke Sparling with a Canadian $7 says, "Oh, also super late Wing Commander shout out. Love those games. Even forced my mom to watch the terrible movie in theaters when it came out. I don't think I ever saw the Wing Commander movie. That was back before video game movies were decent, right? I mean, he did call it terrible, so it must be bad. That's crazy to me because like Wing Commander games are already like movies to begin with, right? It's like how hard is it to fucking copy and paste something and just be like, oh, we're gonna tell the same story of the killer Athi and the tiger's claw and all this shit, and it's already written for us. Now we just need to find halfway decent actors. Oh, by the way, Mark Hamill starred in 2 of them, so just saying. I don't know. You're kind of making me want to watch it just to see how bad it is. All right. Simi Gamecat with the 10 quid saying new Bond game in VR would be amazing. What are the chances? Oh, what do you think, Myles? I mean, this is coming to us from IO Interactive, right? And and it's who went above and beyond with the Hitman World of Assassination VR port. What do you think about
have we seen any of the new Bond movie? Have they actually shown anything of it yet?
I'm sorry, the new movie?
No, sorry, the new game, the new Bond game. Have they shown anything of it yet, like gameplay?
Yeah, but like everything else, it's missing in action here.
Okay, I'm just looking at it now. I see it. Watching it. Yeah, 007 First Light. Oh yeah, no, I do remember seeing this now. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, would be cool.
Bro, I kid you not. I kid you not. All of my trailers are missing in action. I wonder if I got hacked. I got hacked and somebody just was like, we're going to fuck with him and get rid of all of his trailers. That would be great. What do you think?
Yeah, no,
give me a percentage. How likely do you think it is?
Oh, how likely it will come to PSVR2?
Yeah, well, let's start with something that's like very likely, right? Like, do you think Light No Fire has a chance? Oh wow, this is interesting.
I'm not sure, man.
Wow.
I mean, if I was to give a percentage on 45% chance it will come to PSVR2.
45% chance that Light No Fire will come to PSVR2.
First, 007 First Light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Light No Fire.
Yeah, I think 45% sounds right for First Light.
But yeah, Light No Fire, I think, I mean, I think this is going to get VR. I 80-90%. Like, I think it's so likely.
Right, only because of how committed they are. And
yes,
Martin, is it Martin? Is that his name over there? Who's just like so dedicated to the cause and constantly improving things that like don't even need to really be improved, right? So yeah, I think I'm with you, man. Like Light No Fire seems extremely likely just because of their dedication to VR. And
do we have a launch date for that?
No, which is fine, right? It's like I want them to have a great launch. I don't want them to do the No Man's Sky launch all over again.
Can you imagine?
Right?
Go on Stephen Colbert again, and just that was the interview that was like he was asked stuff and he was like, "Yeah, you can do that."
What, Sean Murray was on Stephen Colbert. I don't even remember that.
Sean Murray gave the most amazing GDC talk though about that entire ordeal, and just like it was just really fascinating. And he just talked about the toxicity of the internet. It's like, I can't even begin to imagine. Yeah.
But also, we didn't deliver on anything we promised.
Yeah.
There's some blame to be taken by the studio, but man, gamers are really,
and I would
really
say part of it comes down to, I don't know if this is fair to say, like use this word, but like naivety. I think that they were like indie studio, and it was just like working with a publisher, and the publisher probably said, "So what are you going to be working on?" It's like, we're going to be adding all these things, and then the publisher gives a timeline, and now they're like, "Oh shit, okay, we're not going to do this timeline," but it's already been announced, and that's how things can get trapped. I mean, Cyberpunk. Look what happened with Cyberpunk. Massive titans with CD Projekt Red.
Excuse me.
8 years out, I think it was. Showing this vertical slice of what it was going to be,
right.
Which is why I've always respected Naughty Dog. Like watching their documentaries of like The Last of Us Part 2 and that, and how they do vertical slices is so bold, because they're like, they do it, and people always, it's not exactly the same. Well, of course not. The game was in development at that point, but they're pretty spot on with it. And having worked as a publisher, I can see the challenges that come where when you're far off from development, it's like, well, what can we show right now? I mean, just to be completely tangible about stuff, like there are games that we've announced that are coming out and we want to do like particular content like in social media, but the current build might not have UI that's polished completely for launch. And it's at what point do we say this is good enough to start marketing the game? And it's a bit of a balancing act because gamers are pretty smart. They understand things will change. But on the other side, like you want to make sure you're showing stuff when it's as good as possible, but you don't want to be doing it so far down the line. CD Projekt Red couldn't have started marketing Cyberpunk 6 months. Well, they would have had to market it the week before with how much stuff was still being bolted onto that. But yeah, no, it's an interesting thing to see. Which is why Light No Fire has no release date, because they're clearly just been like, when it's ready.
Yeah, I mean, like, the motto of their studio should just be lesson learned. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so hopefully that kind of answered your questions to me, Gamecat. What are the chances of First Light 007? I think, honestly, I would love to know what happened behind the scene for Hitman. That would answer all of our questions, right? I doubt that IO Interactive ported it to PSVR 1 out of the goodness of their heart, and I doubt that they ported it to PSVR 2 out of the goodness of their heart. Right? This to me screams Sony funded, unless we found something out that said, hey, there are people that are super passionate about VR at IO Interactive, right? That's totally a possibility. And they did charge $10 for the upgrade, so it wasn't, like most Sony funded VR projects are free upgrades from the flat screen version. Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Gran Turismo. So, so I don't know. I think there's a story there, and I hope we hear it one day. I'd love to know exactly what happened behind the scenes and how we got those games, and that would tell us everything we need to know about. I keep forgetting 007, James Bond. Just keeps slipping my brain. Yeah, I think 45% is a good number. I like that. Fifth with the Australian $2 says Exit 8 looks like a good game to movie. Dude, the people who watched Exit 8, was it Japanese or Korean? Because I know they're localizing it. I know they're like, I don't know if they're like reshooting it for the North American audience or if they're just dubbing it or what they're doing, but we are getting that eventually. But yeah, people who liked the game Exit 8, people who have never played the game or heard of the game, everybody seemed to like that movie. It got rave reviews. So I'm very excited for it because I think Exit 8 is pretty cool to begin with. So I'm down. Also, I thought we were supposed to be getting Exit 8 on PSVR2. Is that public information or am I just saying shit? I might just be saying shit.
What game?
There's no way to know. Huh. It's called. Are you familiar with the Exit 8, Myles?
I'll just look it up again.
It's so for anybody not familiar, the Exit 8 is very.
Oh yeah. Wasn't this we had the shovelware game that was based on this?
The Street 10,
the Street 10 or whatever it was. Yeah, that was it. That was this. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so this is good because it's like the environment is very simple, which makes it easy to create a photorealistic looking subway station like this. All the tiles are really reflective, and everything on the walls. The lighting, it all looks really good. And so yeah, you just walk through these hallways. I'm literally saying this for the one person in our chat who doesn't know what this game is. But this, I don't know if this started or accelerated the anomaly game phase, but it basically created an entire genre of games that were just considered anomaly games. You walk through these hallways, and if everything looks fine, you continue forward, and then you advance to the next place. But there might be something out of place, right? Something subtle or something really, really obvious. And if you notice it, you turn back and you go the other way, and then that advances you. And some of this shit can be really scary. just kind of like these liminal spaces, right? Like just being there alone is a little bit on the scary side. And so the last I heard, this was supposed to get a PSVR2 port. I don't know if that's public information or not, but also, what if that was the case? Why haven't we seen it yet? So that
and sorry, has it already been? Is it already in VR on other platforms?
It's on Quest. It may be on PC as well, but I know for sure it's on Quest. Yeah, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and there's the developers made a sequel to this. I can't remember. There's so many different ones. There's one that's like the station. There's one that's actually being on a train. There's so many varieties of this. I can't remember which one the official sequel is, but all of them look so good. And I keep thinking about grabbing these games on Switch, and I'm like, no. I'm gonna hold out for hope that they come to PSVR 2, because that, again, way creepier to be stuck in these places in VR. I don't want to learn these games and get good at them on the flat screen. So anyway, the movie's supposed to be really good, 5th. So I'd like to see it as soon as possible. This is just becoming our tip show, our super chat show, Myles.
Super tip show, yeah.
Super tip. Eclipse DJ with the £5. Excuse me. Says Resident Evil 9 and Indiana Jones are coming to Switch 2. Does this give us more hope for PSVR 2 versions? Yes and no.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Right. The people who said, it's Resident Evil 9 is doing stuff with the Reach for the Moon engine, that PlayStation VR2 would struggle with. Right. It's like, okay, sure, but they're clearly showing that it can be downgraded enough so that it can be played on Switch 2. Like and have it look really, really fucking good. Everybody who's playing it on Switch 2 is saying how great it looks. And so I don't think personally that the hurdle to getting it on PSVR 2 has ever been about the technical aspects. I think personally it's been about who's going to fund this shit, right? And if Sony decided not to fund it, then oh well, right? I don't think the technical hurdles were ever the issue, but that's just me. I know that everybody's got their own opinion on this, and without anybody being transparent, there's no way to know. What do you think, Myles?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
All right. It's one of those days. You don't have to have an opinion on everything.
No.
I'm still holding out hope for Requiem, though. Indiana Jones, I don't know if I had hope for it to begin with. Everyone who's played it has said that it feels kind of VR AF, right? Like there's a lot of like interactions with your hands and everything. It's like, it feels like a game that is like, God, this would be so good in VR. But I guess we have no idea if what Asobo is doing with Microsoft Flight Sim is sort of this one-off thing. And my feeling is kind of like we're getting Microsoft Flight Sim. So that's that, right? Like, so when Sony's talking to Microsoft being like, hey, you guys, we're like going to demand that you bring this to VR, right? It's Microsoft Flight Sim, and they're saying we're demanding this. And so I feel like it's very unlikely that they'll also say, we're also going to demand it for Indiana Jones. You know what I mean?
And also, when things come to Nintendo Switch, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to, it can just come to PSVR 2. Or if it does, that it's just, a quick port, because it doesn't always lead to good things. Like Chris Payne Hero VR was originally a Nintendo Switch game. And Euro Truck Simulator was a Nintendo Switch game. And those were fun, weren't they, on PSVR 2, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can only speak for the American one. I can't speak for the European one.
Actually, what was the first one that came out?
The American one.
Okay, the European one is actually an improvement.
So I saw Neon Pizza in the chat saying, state of play in 1 more week. RE9 VR has a 50-50 chance of being unveiled. Why? Because Capcom has a history about lying about RE9, including the Game Awards trailer and Leon. Yeah. Well, so it's still the rumored state of play, right? To this point, it's still rumored. However, I do think that this is the best chance of it being revealed. Right. If it was in the works all along, I think that this is the best place for it to be revealed. I've said it over and over and over again that if Sony has anything to do with funding it, that it's going to happen on a Sony stage. It's not going to happen on Capcom's YouTube channel. It's going to happen during a Sony event, and this would be the one, right? This would be the one. And they don't even need to show any footage. All they need to do is just have like one static screen at the end of the trailer that says PSVR2 mode also in development, just like they did for Resident Evil 4. And I think that would make a lot of us happy.
Yeah, and that's the thing, actually, is every time they've announced a VR, every time they've done a VR version of a Resident Evil game, they've done it in a different way each time in terms of how it's been released. So who's to say that this time they don't do it as a full-blown announcement, which is, it's coming out. Yeah. That'd be amazing. Yeah. Because also, they knew how to generate conversation online among the VR community, and that is deny it, knowing that people will just be losing their shit, going, "Come on, bring it over." I mean, I don't think it's going to be announced, but it could be. I'm not like 100% against that.
I'm 50-50 on it. I'm 50-50 on it being announced at a State of Play next week.
I'm 40-60.
Ooh, that's still pretty decent.
That's true.
Yep. I'm 50-50 only because, like, you know, if it hasn't been in the works in secret, then maybe they're not ready to announce it. You know, maybe they've got their own strategy, and maybe on top of it all, maybe they've heard us. This is the lowest likelihood of possibilities, but maybe they've heard us and they're just like, hey, you know what? These guys are really fucking passionate about this. They really want us to do it. Whether Sony's funding or Capcom's funding, something one way. If it's happening, like maybe they're. If we had anything to do with it, it's very likely we will not see it next week. But if we do see it next week, Myles, I'm taking full credit for it.
Game on.
It's a win-win for Without Parole.
Yes.
There's no downside. Yep.
I like it.
Oh, man, thank you guys for your generosity being here for us. This is definitely a low content episode. And I think with our energy levels, it's just really nice to kick back and shoot the shit with you guys. So thank you very much for allowing us to do that. Is it Odds? ODDS with the level 2 membership says we need Sirens on My End merch. Yes, we do.
I know.
I've got it in my head, man. I've got the designs in my head. I just need to
in my head. My head. Sirens on my end in my head. You're not a Jason Derulo fan?
No.
Okay.
I was thinking Cranberries. Yeah. Zombie.
Of course you would. You love zombie games.
Yeah. I mean, you know, more than non-zombie games. Oh, man. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Odds. I've been wanting to get Sirens on My End merch for a very long time. Here's the sad truth. It's so thrilling that people buy any of the merch at all. Almost no one buys merch. And so spending, hours working on design and, getting it onto a t-shirt and all that is not very fruitful, not the best way for me to spend my day. But if anybody has designs that you want to submit, contribute, right? You can get your signature right on there, right? You can take credit for it by being on the shirt. If your way of contributing to the Without Parole community is by submitting t-shirt designs that you agree you're not getting any money from, but make sure that your name's on it. Be like designed by, we'll make sure that that's on the store. We can link to your DeviantArt profile. I don't know what artists use anymore.
DeviantArt.
Is DeviantArt
I used to
still
love that. Still about. God, if they release DeviantArt VR, I'd get that shit.
Be filled with deviants, I tell you. Deviants. It was an aptly named site. Ryan Geku. Ryan Geku. Probably not pronouncing that correctly. My apologies. With the $2 tip says in-depth developer post on Reddit about KOF VR. Oh, what fucking such a retro gamer. My immediate thought was King of Fighters is coming to VR. Knights of Fiona. In-depth developer post on Reddit about it. Well, let's see, Myles. Oh, 2 days ago, Knights of Fiona Kickstarter, PSVR2 stretch goal. Nope, that's not it.
Just as you're looking up, I do love the post on the PSVR subreddit of the guy that did his Aces of Thunder rig, and it's a plunger on the floor, and he uses it as the stick. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, somebody was talking about that in Discord.
Just he has the plunger on the ground, and then he just puts his orb around it. It's amazing.
That's great. Hopefully this is what we're looking for here. This may not be the one, but the developer did chime in here, so this is hopefully will answer our questions. Let's scroll here. Added a PSVR2 stretch goal. This is a VR multiplayer action JRPG. It's guaranteed to release on Quest and PC VR. Okay, here we go. Hey everyone, Will from Character Bank here. Happy to answer any questions for the stretch goals. We're looking at the total that's raised between Kickstarter and Campfire. So they actually, I think they're running two concurrent crowdfunding sites at the same time. I have not seen the Campfire one. But they say right now we've raised about 24.7 thousand between the two campaigns. So is this so when they have like a $96,000 stretch goal like for the PSVR2 version, they're talking about cumulative, right? They're saying what they raise on Kickstarter and Campfire combined. It's got to be, right? Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
And can I just say, I know Will, and because Will helped us a lot with the Kickstarter for Postal 2 Redux. And I didn't want to say it earlier because I wasn't sure how much he'd done on that Kickstarter, but he's wicked, and he will, knowing that he's been working on that, I can imagine that he will tweak stuff with updates to make it work with that. So I'll definitely speak to him and ask him about it. But
they're saying, as mentioned in the latest update, we based the amount on Japanese yen, and that's what we are budgeting for our dev costs. If you're only interested in supporting the PSVR2 version, then please consider following the Kickstarter. Once we get closer, you'll be notified of any updates we have, and it allows you to stay in the loop. If you have another headset or use PSVR2 on PC, that would be a huge help to support the campaign, if you can.
Yeah, that's a good shout. So he's saying, understand, you don't have to pledge, just follow the Kickstarter, and then as things progress, things will be updated, and then there might be a new gear change in the campaign.
Oh, wow, this does get really in-depth here. So Pete O'Don asked a few questions. So the second question was, can you explain why the PSVR2 stretch goal was placed where it was? And the third one was, is it possible to lessen the amount or move the PSVR2 stretch goal? And then the fourth, okay, this is all related to PSVR2. He also says, if someone backs the project and the PSVR2 stretch goal is reached, can they switch the code from PC or Meta to PSVR2? This is what we were talking about before. And then number 5 is, what's the best way for gamers to let you know they want Knights of Fiona on PSVR2? He goes into detail. So he answers 2 and 3 at the same time. He says, to bring Knights of Fiona to PSVR2, it requires us to update quite a bit of code and assets. Sony's compliance for games with online features is much stricter than Meta and Steam. We knew that. Without proper support, Sony will fail the titles, adding extra development time and risks. It's all about QA. This is often why a lot of PSVR2 titles get last minute delays. When we worked with VR Monkey to bring over Ruins Magus, I completely forgot that VR Monkey did that. They actually had to rewrite the shaders to support PlayStation, as the console didn't support what we used on other platforms. Up until a week before the final build was submitted, transparent objects were actually not displaying correctly. There were a lot of weird quirks that we had to work through, but VR Monkey pulled it off. We know that. VR Monkey's the best. What's up, Pedro? We'd love to work with them again for the PSVR2 version of Knights of Fiona, but that would require them to be available and funds to actually support the project. They say Knights of Fiona has a lot more content than Ruins Magus, and so there would be more development time for any new features and to properly test the title. This is so important because VR Monkey, I mean, obviously they have different ways to work. Publishers and developers have different ways to work with VR Monkey, right? Sometimes it's like, hey, here's a bunch of money up front, and sometimes it's, hey, they don't take money and they split, split profits. So depending on what the studio wants to do, really depends on how much money they need for the project to begin with. But the more important thing I think at this point is that VR Monkey is just fucking slammed all the time. Like VR Monkey has more games in development for PSVR 2 than any other studio like on the face of the planet right now, right? Because they are the go-to de facto studio that knows what they're doing, right? Even Flat to VR went to them for the adaptive trigger support. RoboQuest, right? Or it just wasn't going to happen in time, right? Those guys kind of swooped in superhero style and made it all work. So lots of love for VR Monkey, man. And I'll just keep quiet about that. About everything else that I'm thinking. The game's going to be released. Just a matter if we can continue to work on it immediately post-launch, or if Character Bank will need to take on contract work to stay afloat until the revenue comes in. The VR scene is a mess right now. Meta has scaled back its first and second party support, and Valve doesn't directly support development projects. It means it's harder to find investors, as everyone just reads the basic headlines and has pulled out money. So everyone is kind of in a holding pattern. One undiscussed benefit of a Japanese studio versus a non-Japanese studio is that we have a larger number of staff for a much lower burn rate. Europe has dominated VR devs for so long, but that's because European subsidies given to promote VR developers. Even then, teams are generally small for VR titles. With Japan, there is support from the government, but also because salaries are lower than the West, we can employ more talent. This allows us to create a more ambitious title. PlayStation keys are more expensive for companies for crowdfunding than other VR platforms, so there might be an upgrade cost. Our policy is that we'd like to give backers the chance to update their pledges and make sure everyone's satisfied. Cool. This is a lot of information.
Will was amazing, and actually a lot of what he said about Ruins Magus on PSVR2 he had told me, and it's one of those things of like, I was like, I'm pretty sure this isn't to be public. The fact he's been transparent about it, I think, is awesome. And he's got a very good understanding of like the markets, especially over there as well. So yeah, the fact he took the time to respond with that is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how this all pans out, because there is some negativity in the chat. I saw some negativity in our own chat saying, "Oh, this is just not going to happen. Not if that's the amount of money they need for it to happen, it's just not going to happen." And I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think it is. I honestly think that they've already got great momentum. They've got a lot of support for what they're doing. They do have a lot of people already involved, and people that want to see those the game be bigger than it currently is, and all those side quests and the different shit. Like, so who knows, man? We're 3 days in, and they're $25,000. They're a quarter of the way to the goal. 3 days in.
This is how Kickstarters happen. It happened we were doing Postal 2 Redux. Is when you first go out the gate, you get all the hardcore people jumping in, and then it, like, after day 2 or 3, it stops, and we were like, maybe that was it. But it's the beginning and the end when there's the most, because there's a lot of people sitting back going, True. I don't want to back it unless it's actually gonna, be backed fully. Right. And so people wait, and then also you get a lot of naysayers, and I'm not here criticizing naysayers. Like, it's totally within your right to think whether you feel it's going to succeed or not, who will then be convinced. You'll be like, no, it's never happening. And then when it starts seeing it, that it's happening, you're like, oh, actually, okay, no, I'll actually do it.
Looper the Underground Gamecast said all the plunger talk makes me really want the Jupiter Grad games on PSVR2. That's great. That studio is so fucking nice. Just like I remember it was randomly out of the blue, they were just like glazing me on Twitter one day, just being like, just talking about what great VR content we do. And I was like, bro, we haven't worked with you in years. And they're like, yeah, just being honest. Like, oh, thank you.
I like honesty when it's nice.
It's every so often I DM them and say, so what about those Jupiter Grad games on PSVR2? Since you like us so much, you want to give us they're like, if we got anything to announce, you'll know it on our socials. I'm like, oh, be that way. All right. I got to wrap this up, man. My throat is getting sore or by the second.
I'm going straight to bed after this. I am cream crackered.
Yo, does that mean we get to snuggle? I mean, I get to snuggle with Tornado. he said in a manly voice. Oh man. Comic Book Guy 5 with the 2 quid says played the demo for Pragmata and it's good. That's cool. Nothing about Pragmata appeals to me at all. But I am still curious about it. Like I do feel like it could be really good. And so I think I'm going to download the demo and check it out just to see.
Dude, that trailer captivated me. And it was when PS5 was coming out. And it was like a trailer. And then you heard nothing of it for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had to have just been put on the back burner or something, right? Like they were just like, oh, we'll get back to this and focus on other shit. There's no way it's been in constant development for that long.
Yeah.
It has. I don't know. I will say, what I completely had forgotten, like sometimes you just pre-order shit and you forget that you did, you're just like, oh yeah, this is a good price. And so the Final Fantasy VII remake finally came out on Switch 2.
Oh yeah.
And it showed up today.
That's right.
Like I got the notification yesterday that it shipped and I was like, did I fucking order that? And like literally, like I literally got it like a half an hour before showtime, so I haven't even taken it out of the cellophane yet. But AJ's going to be so proud of me. I'm excited. I'm only playing it to gain AJ's respect because God knows he doesn't have any currently.
Oh, Touche Scott in the chat because I said I'm going to crash off this, and he went a bit like Aces, Myles. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I still forget to put the gears down before landing, which is very important. It's better to land on wheels than the bottom of the body of the aircraft.
Man, I'm gonna go missing in action for like a week, and when I come back, I'm gonna be like an Ace of Thunder expert. You guys just wait and see.
There we go.
Yeah. Like Brian, where have you been? How come there hasn't been a Gamecast in a week? I didn't see PSVR this week for like 2 weeks. What's been happening?
Yeah.
And then you'll see me. I'll be.
He's in the Air Force.
Yeah. You
I joined the Air Force.
You want to see me? You want to see me? You want to see me? Look at the top of the leaderboards.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I don't know. Somebody in the chat was wondering why why the ads are trying to recruit me into the Navy on Reddit. I can only assume my Reddit and my Tinder are talking to each other. Gamecat sent 5 without Parole gift memberships. Guys, it's time to do a 4-minute challenge. This is how far.
It'll probably be a 10-minute challenge. The way our heads are running at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
You picked a game, Brian?
I did. I picked a game, and it's up to you.
Oh, nice.
And all of them to figure out what game that is. You only have 4 minutes, but an infinite number of yes or no questions to ask during that time. So ask a bunch of questions, help Myles, and then based on the answers you get, suggest games that it might be. Myles, are you ready?
No, I'm not. But as always, the chat is, and they're going to help me out. Also,
I learned about Without Parole lore this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Someone in the comment section was correcting me on the reference to Jeremy when I say put the clock up on the counter the way that Jeremy likes it. That actually was not a sexual reference whatsoever, as I assume everything is. It actually came from the Midnight Gamescast, the old show we used to do, where we'd start every show with a 30-second segment, should we or shouldn't we? And people would talk about what they did over the weekend or since the last time we saw each other. They could talk about a movie or a video game or something that they played, and you have 30 seconds to like convince everyone else whether they should or shouldn't be playing or watching what they're doing. And so we put 30 seconds up on the clock up on the counter, and one time Jeremy put it there. I think that's where Jeremy likes it.
Nice.
Like, oh,
there we go.
It's so nice. It's so nice learning about your own past.
Right? Yeah. Being reminded by other people of things you did.
Right. Thank God other people remember, because I don't.
Yeah. Lupus says the current streak is 13 and the record is 14. No pressure.
I should definitely pick an easier game. Hold on a second. Wait.
And I am so tired as F. So chat, it's all down to you guys. Right. You've got one. Stick with the one you got.
All right. Oh, it's not. I mean, it's not super hard.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. On your mark.
I need you, Chen.
Yeah, help him out. Get Des. Go.
Is it a PSVR2 game?
No, sadly.
Is it only on PSVR?
No.
Okay. Was it on Quest?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Is it a good game?
Yes.
Good game? Cool.
Yep.
Is it by a developer that made a PSVR2 game?
No.
No. Okay. And has it got multiplayer?
No.
Okay. Single player game. And are you shooting in this game?
Be more specific.
Do you fire weapons in this game?
No.
Okay. Is it cartoony?
Yes.
It is cartoony, right? And is it a third-person game?
First. I mean, no. But you get
okay, so first-person cartoony game. Are you shooting magic?
No.
Okay. Are you shooting out of a camera?
No.
Like shooting pictures? No. Is it a puzzle game?
Yes.
Puzzle elements.
I would say it's puzzle-ish. But that's
okay.
wait, I think when you think about the game, that's not the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay, cool. Is there full locomotion?
Yes.
Full locomotion. Okay, so guys, just a recap. It's PSVR Quest game. It's a good game, cartoony, first-person, puzzle-ish with full locomotion. Are you shooting arrows?
No.
Okay. No, it's not Masters of Light because that's on PSVR 2.
Correct.
This is PSVR. Is it one? Are you? Is it sci-fi?
Yeah, I would say so.
So, are you on a space station?
Yes.
And oh my god, there's no guns in this game.
Not guns. No, you don't shoot
No.
guns.
Do you have plungers? Is there combat in the game?
No.
No, there's not combat in the game. And no, it's not the persistence because you have guns in that. Are there plungers in the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Looper.
Okay, I'm going. Is it Jupitergrad? Is that what it's pronounced?
Myles, released February 25th, 2021. It is indeed from Game Dust, the first Jupiter grad. We never got Jupiter grad 2, and we never got PSVR2 ports of either. You haven't played it?
Oh, God. No, I never did. And looking at it now, I remember this now. But yeah, I'd never played it. Oh, man. Yeah, I wouldn't have got it. I wouldn't have got this without the chat. This is like complete blind spot for me. So thank you, chat. You saved me.
The fact that we brought it up on the show, I was like, usually that's one of the questions, right? And so I thought, well, that's going to narrow it down to 7 games right away. Yeah,
that would not have helped me today. I laughed at the plunger thing because of talked about plunger elsewhere. Right. Yeah, no. My memory of this episode is very limited.
So now we're tied for
14.
Our record.
We're at the record. We're at the record. So the pressure's now on AJ.
No, it's on me because I got to answer the questions on Monday.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yep.
Oh no, I'm gonna let everybody down. But you guys are used to that by now, so it's all good. Damn.
Plunges.
All right, I gotta go so I can text my mom back. Thank you everybody for your generosity. Thanks for the shout outs to my mom. My mom. You guys are the fucking best. Thank you so much. This has been a nice little way to spend my Friday. Definitely not in a great mood. Shamrock, yes, it is worth playing today. You know, you usually get it for a couple bucks. And if you still get your PSVR1 or another headset set up, absolutely, it's fun. I love when you have these kind of crazy locomotion games, right? Where the developer's like, oh, you get motion sick? Pfft, maybe you shouldn't play this. I like that. You guys are the best though. Thank you so much for helping me end the week on a positive note. It's been a rough one, and I'm gonna fucking chill tonight. I guess I'm gonna go play Final Fantasy VII Remake a little bit after this is over for the first time ever, just only because I want AJ's approval, and I'll get PSVR this week out tomorrow. Myles,
someone rightly said, someone in the chat just said I should have asked it that said the game sucked because it had plungers. Good job I asked you, is it a good game when not did the game suck?
Yeah. Yep.
That would have been hard.
Yeah. It's always hard, Myles. It's always hard. Myles, what's happening on your channel? I know that you've been streaming again, but I haven't been keeping up, unfortunately, because I've been busy.
I've only streamed 2 PSVR2 Let's Play so far, or have I done 3? No, 3 now. Aces of Thunder, Mars Kitchen, and Skyleap. So I'm going to start stepping up. I'm just sort of ramping up into the year. And then on my
year's
Wednesday,
almost over, Myles. It's already we're already halfway through February. We need ramping up.
But on Wednesdays, I've been having guests on, which has been really, really good. Lots of different topics. As I mentioned, talking about VR fitness, talked about American politics the week before, and I know there were some people in the community that lost their respect for me. I should stick to gaming, and I would just say, like, anyone that has ever known me, on just look at my channel. For 20 years, I have not just done gaming, and you know, but I'm always very open. Like, I'm not like an ecosystem of, you know, you got to agree with me and stuff. Like, I always invite people to discuss ideas and that, but it just seems some people, and look, it's people's within their right not to want to talk about it, and that's fine, and people within their right. So yeah, it was kind of funny. I had quite a lot of people unsubscribe from my channel following 2 Wednesdays ago, and then when Aces of Thunder, it was just a massive boost of subscribers. So it was like, obviously gamers who maybe sometime in the future will then be disappointed to see that I don't just do gaming and then unsubscribe again. But it's just the way it goes and that. But no, it's been really good. And like, what I love about it and what the guests always say when they come on is, like without Parole, is the chat is always really positive and respectful, and you know, it's good. I think especially in the day and age where AI is just so prevalent on social media now, all videos, and the amount of Instagram AI accounts there are now, where it's just getting harder to tell who's real and who's not. Like, live streaming is super, super important. So I love that.
It's a no-win situation. It's the Kobayashi Maru, Myles. When it comes to politics, there's you know, I do. If you say anything about politics, then you're going to, you know, alienate some of your audience.
Yeah.
And, you know, you and I have done plenty of political shows where we talked about plenty of political stuff, and people have like begged us, like, you know, please guys, please, we come to Without Parole to get away from this shit. Like, the world is crazy and everything's chaotic. And so we said, okay, listen, the goal of Without Parole has always been to bring people together. right? And if even talking about politics is going to divide us, then fucking mission failed, right? And so I do want this to be a place where like you don't have to think about it. However, I got blasted for not talking about politics recently. Oh, Brian's burying his head in the sand and all blah, blah. It's like listen, go fuck yourself. You're making it impossible to try to do what we do. Okay, like as much as I respect every single person who speaks out when it's time to speak out, I also know that like I don't want to fucking hear it all the time, right?
Of course,
and if the majority of our viewers have said we don't want to hear it all the time, right? We're trying. This is our escape. Then like I get it, and I'm kind of with you. So
yeah,
everybody knows where I stand. It's never been a question. You know anything about me, you know exactly who I am and what I stand for.
And we always have to make judgments editorially of when we do it. So like, even though I'm talking technically politics now, I'm not speaking on any specifics, just like the concept of politics and speaking about it, which feels a bit ironic. But like when I do my Let's Plays, there were moments where something's just happened in the news and I have people in like, because it's read out in my ear, asking me questions and I just ignore it. Like for me, it's like in this Let's Play, all I'm talking about is this game and my experience of it, and that's fine. Myles Die Alive is just talking about stuff, and you can tell what the topic is from it. So like if there's a topic that's look, I'm the last person to say this, if there's a topic that's going to get you triggered, then don't check it. Like you're completely within your right to say I don't want to deal with this shit. But it was funny because I had people in the comments going, I've lost all respect for you, and it's like, oh my god, like what did you respect me for in the first place if this is it? Like I find it amusing, a bit depressing, but people are completely within their rights. Like the reason you have a subscribe button and stuff is because you say you want me popping up in your feed. And if because of a live stream and a conversation I conducted, you were completely triggered and saw a part of me that you thought, God, Myles is a disgusting human being, I can't ever watch any of his 300 Let's Plays ever again, then that's within your right. Like exactly. That's it. People. So I don't actually have any ill will to people. Like,
nope.
When I was younger, and I think this is the thing when you're growing up, you want to be liked by everyone. And I've learned that no, that's not how life works, and I don't like everyone in life. So why should I expect everyone to like me? Like we all have tastes, we all have preferences. But for me, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that I have fundamental disagreements with, but I still like to be respectful. I've stayed at homes of people I have massive disagreements with, and I don't know. It's very hard to hate people that you know or that you're there in person with, and it's why I always prefer to deal with stuff in person and that. So I don't know. It's a bit of a ramble, but it was definitely an eye-opening thing of a couple of weeks ago, and there were people that were very outspoken about it, and they're within their right to, but I'm within my right to explain myself and what I do. And by explaining myself, people know where I stand. Like the only way people can understand who we are is if we talk about it. If we shut up about how we make decisions and that, then they're only going to be surprised later down the line of, oh, wow, why didn't you say this before? Well, because people supposedly didn't want me to talk about it in the first place. But
yeah, right. Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I like PSVR2 though. Is that cool? Is that cool to say here? I like PSVR2.
No, it's too fucking divisive. It's too polarizing.
Man. Oh no, I'm
too
sorry.
Polarizing.
Sorry.
How dare
we? Do you use inverted controls, Brian?
What kind of monster do you think I am?
I use inverted controls.
I honestly don't remember. Every time so that one, it's especially a problem because when I first started playing first person shooters on like, I guess PlayStation 1 or maybe PlayStation 2, I think I did use regular controls, not non-inverted, and then at some point my brain switched and everything felt backwards, even though all the controls were the same. It was like overnight one night, and then so whatever games default to these days is what I use. Like whatever the overwhelming majority use is. I just don't know if that's inverted or not. I haven't had to switch it in like a decade.
Yeah, I think I've always been inverted. I think there's a couple of times maybe on the early PlayStation where you just use the default. I mean, when games first came out, you didn't even get a choice, did you? You just had to make do with what the settings were. Because I remember when playing the demo disc at a friend's house who had a PlayStation before I did, and on the demo disc was the Die Hard game. and did you remember the Die Hard game on PlayStation?
It was Die Hard Trilogy.
Yeah, that was it. So
Okay.
so the demo was of is it Die Harder, Die Hard 2, the second one, and it was at the airport, and it was like you had a crosshair, and it's basically panning through the airport, and it's a shooting thing.
It's a light gun.
And my memory of say again.
Kind of like a light gun, Virtua Cop kind of light gun.
Yeah, but you're doing it with the dual pad. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was it.
Yeah.
But I remember playing that, and it was you pressed up for the crosshair to go up. Whereas if I was playing games now, I think the psychology of it is I think of the thumbstick as a head. So if you push it forward, your head's leaning forward, and if you pull it back, your head goes back. But it's also like when you're flying, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now you've got me wondering how I play games.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Jesus. That's crazy. Comic book guy, thank you so much for the additional 105 quid. We got Prozac with the $2 saying, Brian, you never let us down. You only let us up. Well, I have to hold you down before I can let you up, but that's more of a sexual thing. We got Andrew Ehrenreich with the $1. Said nothing. I'm hearting it anyway. We got Andrew Ehrenreich with another $1 with a banana peel. Is that all? Hold on. I always get a copy and paste. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It just says a banana peel. Awesome. Guys, you are all the best. Thank you so much for listening to us rant about random shit. We love you all very, very much.
Yeah, love you all.
Yep. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you believe. We're happy that you're here and that we can put these kind of, in a crazy world, we can put beliefs aside and play video games together and have fun. And, remember that the world isn't awful for a minute. So thank you.
Unity is the only cause worth fighting for. It honestly is. Finding things that connect people and having a good time with it. So PSVR2 and gaming is a great cultural glue.
Oh no, Gabe Gatto, we were just about to go. He's not going to let us go. Gabe Gatto, the Australian $10 tip, says, I choose to invert because I'm an N64 kid, and that's how games came automatically.
There we go. Yeah.
PlayStation 1 at friends, and it was always weird. The joystick head thing is that's how I think, Myles.
Yeah.
Listen, I go back far enough. I think this is probably PS1 era, right? It's like I got to remember like which games controlled this way, which games didn't. But like there was Alien Trilogy on PlayStation 1, which I think just operated sort of like a standard Doom game, and I don't even know if you could look up or down. But then there was Alien Resurrection where you could look up and down. And again, I don't know if this is how that game controlled or not. But do you remember having to use L1 and R1 to look up and down? Like it wasn't actually mapped to the right analog stick yet. Like Codename Tenka was just like an absolute mess. We've come so far, dude.
Yeah.
We've come so far. Like and very frequently I feel like VR is still in those early first-person shooter days where like no one has standardized controls. Like even the nomenclature, click turning or segmented turning or whatever you call it, right? That hasn't been standardized. Yeah. We're still in it, you guys. We're going to look back at this time and be like, yep, those were the N64 days of VR. All right.
Love it.
Guys, thank you all very much. You all have an excellent weekend. I love you all very much.
See you in the skies at the weekend.
That's what it is. Saturday and Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Aces of Thunder. Here it is, you guys. Your clip of the week, courtesy of Andrew Ehrenreich. Let's go. Dude, the funniest part of that clip of the week isn't even the clip. I mean, the clip is fucking hilarious, right? But in the clip of the week channel, Andrew quoted me from Wednesday's show saying, the combat's not that bad. And then it's fucking so ridiculously bad sometimes. But yep, I'll be playing through more Wanderer soon enough. I'll get some feedback to you guys. But now I'm going to have to start lighting people on fire with flare guns because that was excellent. All right. Good night, Myles.
Bye.
There it is.